So, I've got a problem. The audio in my videos is not very good. Well, I mean, sometimes it's good. Like this scene right now, or some of the videos I've made have had good audio. But I've been very inconsistent, and some of my videos, frankly, have had pretty terrible audio. Part of the reason for that is that I have quite a few different mics. My brother's given me a lot of different mics. Thank you, brother, for all the free mics that you don't need. But with each mic, you have to use different settings, and I've never invested the time to figure out which settings work best for which mic and which mic sounds better than my other mic and whatnot. So in this video, I want to change that. I want to make sure that I get solid audio for this video and for all my future videos. Like I mentioned, I've had issues with some of my mics in the past, and that's probably a lot due to user error. I didn't know what settings to put on my camera. I didn't know how to edit the audio properly. So I'm going to sit down and do a controlled test with all of my mics to figure out what the best settings are. This is actually my second time filming this video. The first time I was using my Sony a6500, and I have an external monitor. It's above my camera just to see how things are framed and whatnot. And that monitor is plugged into a power adapter, and I didn't know it, but plugging in the power adapter caused some kind of electronic buzz. I think it's called a ground loop. But yeah, so on all of the audio for all of the videos I shot up till now, it was terrible. I actually had to bump up my audio levels in my camera. So I switched to my Sony a7 III, and magically it works even with the power adapter plugged in. So I'm going to be shooting this video on my Sony a7 III, but I've also filmed all of these shots on my Sony a6500, and I'm confident that the results are the same. This mic that I have right in front of my mouth is a condenser mic. It's made by a brand called Aukio. I'm not too focused on the brands in this video. I'm going to state them just so that you can differentiate between my mics, but I'm not particularly advocating one brand or another or a specific mic model over another. I'm just using the names so that you can tell the difference between the mics. Anyways, this is a condenser mic, and it's obviously pretty close to my mouth, and it does a really good job picking up vocals. I think this is my best sounding mic out of all the mics I have, but it comes with some serious downsides. The biggest one is that either I have to hold the mic or it has to be mounted on something like this. In situations like this office, I can make that work because I have plenty of places to mount my mic, but in a lot of other situations that I like to film, whether I'm in a big room or I'm outdoors, I don't really have a place to mount this mic, and I don't want to hold it. I don't like having it in my hands because I use my hands for other things. Just to give you a good baseline comparison, this is what the mic sounds like without any editing done to the audio. There's a little bit of a background hiss, but it's really not that bad. If I didn't edit the audio, I think it would be almost passable, but it's easy enough to add noise reduction and make it sound totally normal. And just for comparison on the future mics, right now I have my camera's audio level set to 27. I moved the condenser mic out of the way, and now I am using a Lav Mic. This particular mic is made by Pop Voice. The mic cable itself is not very long, but it came with an extension cable, and that's how I'm able to run it all the way from here to my camera. I really like the sound coming out of this mic. I don't think it's quite as good as the condenser mic, but it's pretty close. I do feel that this is a little bass heavy, and I'm not sure if that's because of the way the mic is or if it's because it's so close to my throat and my voice. I also think that this mic picks up a little bit more background hiss and a little bit more of the echo of this room compared to the condenser mic. Also, this mic picks up audio quite strongly, so I had to drop the audio level on my camera from the 27 that it was at all the way down to 10 in order for this to be the same volume level as the condenser mic. This is what the mic sounds like without any editing done to it. And this is what the mic sounds like with a little bit of noise reduction applied. You probably can't tell it, but I actually just swapped out mics. This is a different Lav mic. This one is made by Lavidas or Lavidas, not sure how you say it. Anyways, this mic sounds very similar to the other Lav mic, not too surprising, but it doesn't pick up audio quite as strongly. I had to bump the audio level in my camera up from 10 all the way to 14, so not a huge difference, but noticeable. If I'd have left this at 10, the audio would have been a little bit on the quiet side. I think this Lav mic sounds a little bit more natural than the previous one. It's not quite as bassy, and it also doesn't seem to have as bad of a background hiss. This is what the mic sounds like without doing any editing to it. And this is what the mic sounds like with some noise reduction applied to it. Sorry about this extreme close-up. I'm testing yet another Lav mic. This one is by K&F Concept. It came with a wireless mic system, and I'll actually be testing that in my next video, so stick around for that next video. The reason I'm so close to the camera is because this mic does not have the same pin out as the other mics, and so I can't use it with my extension cable. I'm plugged directly into my camera, so I can only be a few feet away from it. The other annoying thing with this mic is that it only records in mono and not in stereo. So that's just one more step I have to do in post-processing. I have to take the mono and split it out into stereo so that you can hear it in both ears and not just one. This is what the mic sounds like without any editing done to it. And then once I've split it into stereo and applied noise reduction, this is what it sounds like. The audio level on my camera is 12, so this one is directly in between my other two Lav mics. One was 10, one was 14. This one I have it at 12 in order to sound about the same. I'm pretty confident I will never use this Lav mic hooked up directly to my camera, but I might use it in some wireless systems. That totally depends on what I find when I do my testing of the wireless systems next week. That's it for my Lav mics. Now I am testing a shotgun mic that I have. It's mounted on my camera. Because the shotgun mic is further from my mouth than the Lav mics or the condenser mic was, it obviously picks up a bit more of the noise room and doesn't hone in quite as well on my voice. This is what the mic sounds like without any editing done to the audio. And this is what it sounds like with some noise reduction added to it. I know a lot of YouTubers have shotgun mics and they love them and use them exclusively. I know that the Rode Video Mic Pro and the Rode Video Mic are very popular. So I know you can get good results with shotgun mics, but I feel like with my shotgun mic, I cannot get very good results. I've played around with the settings. There's a plus 10 dB setting you can toggle on or off, and then there's an equalizer setting that you can change. But no matter what setting I have it on, it always sounds pretty similar to what you're hearing right now, and I just don't think that's very good. So for me, I probably won't use shotgun mics, so I'll probably stick with my other mics. For a bit of comparison, this is what it sounds like with no microphone attached to my camera at all. I'm using the onboard mic of my camera. It obviously picks up a lot of the noise in this room, and it's not as crisp as my mics. It's usable in a pinch, but surprisingly not that useful in most scenarios. I definitely like the sound of the mics better than the sound of the onboard microphone on my camera, so I'm probably never going to use this option. And the last test is actually using a cell phone. I've done this in the past with pretty good success, so I want to see how it stacks up against my mics. My cell phone is right here. It's on my desk, so maybe 1.5 feet from my mouth. Not super far, definitely closer than the shotgun mic was. I think it picks up my voice pretty well, but it does have a little bit of muffled noise to it. I don't think it's quite as crisp as the microphones were. And I think part of that might be due to some noise reduction that the phone is applying. I'm not positive that that's what it is, but to me it sounds like the phone is doing noise reduction to kill some of the ambient noise. All phones are probably going to be different. I'm using an LG V35 phone, so you may get different results depending on what phone you use. This is what the audio from my phone sounds like without any editing done whatsoever. There may be noise reduction applied by my phone, but I haven't applied any noise reduction myself. And this is what it sounds like with noise reduction applied by me, with a little bit of editing done. That's it for my mics. I learned quite a bit by making this video. I ran into quite a few problems, especially that ground loop problem with my external monitor. So moving forward, I should have much better audio. I definitely prefer this mic over all my other mics, but I'll only use it when I'm filming probably in this room right here. Otherwise, I'll be using my Lav mics. I'm working on another video that I'll hopefully release next week that will compare some wireless mic options. I have a Sony wireless mic system as well as a K&F Concept wireless mic system. I'll be comparing those against plugging mics directly into my cell phone and recording on my phone rather than on my camera. Hopefully you come back to watch that and you learn just as much as I did. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.